News Central now at this hour begins at the Parliament, where the Senate has advanced a bill to ban the use of foreign currencies for payments in Nigeria. Sponsored by Senator Ned Nwoko, the bill proposes amending the Central Bank Act of 2007 to ensure all transactions, including salaries, are conducted in Naira. Senator Nwoko says reliance on foreign currencies like the dollar and pound undermines the Naira's value and worsens economic challenges. He described the practice as a colonial relic that threatens Nigeria's economic independence. The proposed law aims to promote the local currency and strengthen the country's financial system. The bill has now scaled its first reading in the Senate. And so live to discuss this, we are joined by Alexa Wilcox, a financial analyst. Alexa, you're welcome. Good evening.
Nice to have me around. Thank you very much.
Indeed, it is nice to have you around, if you say so yourself. So let's ask you, how do you see the banning of the use of foreign currency impacting Nigeria's economy? Like they say, it's going to strengthen the Naira, both positively and negatively. What do you think? Could it lead to increased demand for the Naira, potentially boosting its value?
Unfortunately, we have a country that have domesticated our mentality to the dollar. How we get to this level, I really cannot understand how we got to this level, where we have domesticated our mindset and everything that we do to the dollar. You discover that today on the streets of Nigeria, if you ask why is the price of garri going up, they tell you the dollar has gone up. Why is the price of pepper? They tell you the dollar and all that. So I'm just asking, how did we get to this point when the dollar has become so much infused into our mindsets and makes us to look like persons that don't understand what they are doing? I do not think that this bill will see any light of the day. It might just be one exercise in futility because there's enough laws in our status books. The CBN had always said it over and over that the means of exchange in Nigeria is the Naira and not the dollar. But yet, even they in the CBN, NNPC, presidency, governors, everywhere, you see them floating dollars as if it is a no-man business. When it is clearly stated that the CBN has stated that over and over in all their publications, in fact, it is a law that the means of exchange in Nigeria is the Naira. But you go to some hotels, their rates are denominated in dollar. Schools, even in Abuja, in the seat of government, charges most of their fees. Some schools charges in dollar. Go to the airport, you cannot pay excess luggage with Naira. You must pay with dollar. So, and these things are in the open. It's not as if they are seeded. Dollar is flaunted everywhere. Dollar is used to buy to trade some shops. I understand in Abuja. You spend dollar. Some clubs you spend dollar. So how did we get to this point that we have domesticated our mindset to the dollar? Is what I don't know. Well, let's hope that this bill will create an awareness to an already existing law, and maybe, just maybe, somebody somewhere will wake up and say, okay, let's start doing the right thing. And of course, that's when Naira will gain its rightful place in the part of world currencies.
So, Alexa, I'm worried for tourism and international trade. What are the practical challenges of implementing such a ban, especially on these sectors, tourism and international trade? How can a government ensure compliance and prevent black market activities?
No. You see, everywhere in the world, people travel, especially now that the dollar is the world named currency. People travel everywhere in the world. Tourists travel everywhere in the world with the dollar. So every country has received visitors, tourists, trade with dollar. But the moment you get into the country, the means of exchange is that local currency. So that is where you have bureau de change, either the official one or the unofficial ones, maybe the ones that the Malam, and so you are expected to convert your money into Naira and pay for goods and services in Nigeria in Naira. So it has nothing to do with tourists, it has nothing to do with international trade. It is only that you must transact businesses in Naira. Of course, tourists are not bothered. Tourists are not supposed to be transacting in foreign currency. It is if you don't have the Naira. And for instance, sometime I was in Accra, Ghana. Their hotel rates are denominated in Naira, in cedis, sorry. And by the time I got to the hotel, I told them I've not changed cedis. I have dollars. They said, fine. They converted it for me at their official rate and asked me to pay them the dollar, which is allowed. But the rate of exchange is the cedi. I was in Malaysia some years back. We wanted to make a deposit for the hotel. They refused to accept our dollar. They said, you need to go and get us ringgit, which is the official currency of Malaysia. The hotel refused to take the dollar. They said, go across there and then change it to ringgit. So we went across and then got ringgit for them. So this is how every country works. But unfortunately, we hold our laws in breach. And Nigerians, we just go ahead, even if I'm talking about regulators now, CBN officials, NNPC, those in government, those in Aso Rock, even the senator that is talking now, don't they share some things in dollar? So when we stop hurting ourselves, when we stop cutting our nose to spite our face, then our country will begin to have a rejuvenated life. I don't understand why we are so dollarize our economy, dollarize our mentality, make it so popular that every market woman knows the value of price of dollar every day. How did we get to that level?
Well, Alexa,
I think for me, it's something that we need effective orientation to get out of.
Alexa, so if the government's going to adopt these policies and procedures, what legal regulatory changes would be necessary?
Well, it's the CBN. The only legal entity with respect to currency is the CBN. So the CBN, their inspectorate or whatever department needs to rise up. It's not even something that is not. I don't think it's something that DS or what do you call them, ICPC or EFCC should get into. It's for CBN to be able to, make it clear and follow it up. Because, like I said, we hold our laws in breach. Because even those who are supposed to regulate are in breach of it. So who will now build the cards? If those who are supposed to implement are in breach of those laws, so who will now build the cards? So it's the only, if this bill is passed and is signed to law, it now takes the CBN to wake up from their slumber and then purge themselves of those tendencies, and then they can go ahead and implement, because Naira needs to have its rightful place. All this dollarization, people using dollar as a store of value, that is why our Naira is weak. Because people that don't even need dollar for anything just go about collecting dollar, storing it in their domiciliary account for what I don't know. So we are all enemies of ourselves. But of course, at the end of the day, who do we blame? The government. And the government needs to rise up and do what is right, so that they will stop blaming them for what they are not the cause of what is happening.
Do you foresee any resistance or consequences? How do you think the public will receive the ban?
Well, I will see resistance from the ruling class. I will see resistance from the bourgeoisies. I will see resistance from the senators themselves and those and their counterparts in the National Assembly, in the House of Rep. I will see resistance even from those in NPC, those even the CBN, because these are all those that are culprits. I will see resistance from high-class individuals who pay their children's school fees in dollar. Remember the Yaya Bello's episode that he has to go and change dollar to pay for his children's school fees in Abuja. So if this is happening right in the nose of the CBN, this is happening right in the nose of the CBN, of EFCC, of ICPC, of every regulatory agency that is supposed to protect us. It is happening right under their nose. So why would there not be resistance over this bill? Because if people today still in Nigeria decide to pay school fees in dollar, in pound sterling, the everyday man, the bourgeoisie, the politician, the rich man, even the poor man, even the middle class, chooses to attend those schools and pay in dollar, when it's sad. It's sad. Sincerely, it's sad. It's like we are all jokers in this country. I tell you the truth, it's sad. I just hope this man will be able to see this bill through, but don't fret yourself. There's going to be pushback. There's going to be resistance, because you are going to either, it's like you are going to break the class ceiling. I mean, because most times they see them as a class thing. We pay in dollars, we pay in pound sterling. So there's going to be pushback, and those who corruptly use the dollar to corrupt themselves, there will be pushback. But I just hope somebody will want to do what is right in this country.
Well, Alexa Wilcox, I want to say thank you for joining us this evening with your expert opinion on the matter.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. May God bless Nigeria, and may God continue to protect our troops. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you.